Oh, Diane, it is so fun to be together, and you've created this amazing environment
So,
for our coffee and combo today. And I want to thank you for that.
well, thank you. I'm so happy to have this opportunity to open up my home to
Oh,
you.
I
And
love
I know
it.
that we're going to have a lovely conversation over a great cup of coffee
Yes,
and just
yes.
just enjoy the company
Yes.
and
Surrounded by the magic. I mean, there's magic in every part of your home, and I love that so
thank
much,
you.
including
Thank
your
you.
beautiful backyard, which, if people remember from our previous conversation, your YouTube channel, and that's where it takes place. That's where a lot of the magic happens. And
Yeah.
it is as beautiful in real life as it is on camera. So just gonna say that. So we're doing a flip the script episode today for the first time ever. Listeners and viewers, that I typically am solo, and I recently have started this series on joy called Awakening to Joy. And Diane is the epitome of joy, so she was my first guest. And then I thought, well, let's flip the script and have someone interview me for the podcast episode and YouTube episode. And who else would I ask to do it besides Diane? So I
Aw.
am going to turn it over to you. Thank
Well,
you so
thank
much.
you. Thank you. And I love this idea that you brought up because I feel as a host, sometimes you don't get to share all um, the gems that you have inside of you. So this kind of
Mm.
flipping the switch, I think is going to be nice.
Hmm.
All right. So
Thank you so much.
joy is what we're centering on, right? Let's
Hmm.
start like where did your joy begin? How did you come up with the idea to create this episode or these episodes on joy?
Well, I have to tell you, it was something that came to me I got guidance over the summer, and I thought, it's kind of a mess. It's very sticky in the world right now. Times are intense. I just don't think it's the right time. But the nudge continued, insistently, and I thought, okay, well, let's think about what could it mean if we did a series on joy. If I did a series on joy, and then I thought, well, then it could be other people. It doesn't have to be just me. And we can talk about why joy is important. We can talk about what it means to us. And I think we need that right now.
Absolutely.
And so that's what sparked it. And once I got past my resistance, and I think all of us who do creative work or even professional work, or especially professional work, we have this intuition, we have this sense of knowing. We oftentimes discount it. And I thought, I need to walk my talk here and figure out what this message means and why it's important.
I love that. So it's so true. Sometimes we think of ideas, but it's the execution that matters, right?
Yes,
So
100%.
yeah, so I commend you on that. And
Thank
thank you,
you.
not just for myself, but I know all of your listeners
Yes.
enjoy that as well.
Yes.
So
Well,
good
thank you.
job.
Thank you. I appreciate
Good
that. And
job.
that when I work with my women clients and my businesses, that is something that I always circle back to. What is your gut telling you right now? Don't censor it. Like, just tell me the first thing that comes to your mind or your heart. And let's start with that. Well, no, 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 let's just talk about what is there, and then we can process that a little bit. So I thought, I need to live into that, and I try and do it on the daily, but this one has a special place in my heart.
Beautiful. That's awesome.
Thank
That's awesome.
you. Thank you.
So how has joy changed throughout the different stages of your life? How does joy look in these different stages?
Well, it's so funny because I think I asked you this question
That's why
on
I'm
the
asking
interview.
you now. We're flipping the switch here.
We are.
Yes.
Tables are turned. And I didn't pre-think about any of it. I really wanted to be present in the moment and respond accordingly. And I think, not unlike you, that it has changed over time, right? Like, depending on the season of life that we're in, which I think is another reason why I'm interviewing people of different seasons in their life, because you talk to me 20 years ago, when my daughter was a toddler and I'm a single parent and I'm running a company. It's very different. Joy could have been so simple as just 5 minutes of time alone, just a little bit of time to take my breath and not be thinking about a work thing or having to do something, that to take care of my daughter, which I absolutely love and would never change that. However, that was simple joy. And I think that even now, joy for me is very simple. I don't need, a chartered jet flight to another country to sit on a beach to be joyful. Although I would love that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
I was going to say,
Wait, hold on,
let's
hold
not
on.
cancel that, because that is definitely something I look forward to someday.
Uh-huh.
But it takes, like today, it's a rainy day in the Central Valley, which we don't have all that often. typically. And I am a fall girl all the way. It's my favorite season. And I feel like in the last few days, it's finally starting to feel like fall. And that brings me joy.
Yeah. Yep. Same. I feel like, especially after a rain. In fact, the other day it was raining and I grabbed an umbrella and just walked outside and just took some
Mhm.
great deep breaths. And yeah, just the simple things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. So on a daily thing, so this,
Mm,
now we've got the weather,
right.
we're
Yes.
enjoying
Yes.
this, but like on a typical California day where this is sunny and hot, and what brings you joy?
I, again, aspire to find joy in every single day. And as we all know, we are all human living this human life. Some days that is easier than others. And there are mornings where I honestly just wake up feeling heavy. It's a conscious effort, takes a conscious effort and process to move through that because I'm not going to start my day that way. Right. So I have quiet time in the morning where I am taking my time and I do meditation. I get up and do some stretching to get into my body. So during that time when I've kind of grounded on the floor, I will like have a little talk to myself if I can't have not shaken that feeling yet. And all of the time I can do it. I ground, I just breathe in peace. I have a breathing practice that I've been doing for years and, breathing in what I want to live into and blowing out what I want to release. And so that is powerful for me to start the day. And then most days, I love to write every morning. My schedule doesn't, I don't always make that happen every single day, but I always feel better when I write and get some self expression out.
Mm-hmm.
And and then being present. It is so easy, when you're driving down the freeway and you're all of a sudden 5 exits ahead, and you don't know how you got there. It's so easy to go through our days like that.
So true.
And so I really strive to be present and so that I don't miss the little joyful things, right? So on a sunny day, I love to go sit in the sun. I feel like we need our real vitamin D from the sun, so we have to be able to go out and get that somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So going and sitting in the sun, even just for 10 or 15 minutes, especially in the summer before it gets to be 100 degrees, and that resets my joy meter as well.
Yeah.
So anywhere I can find it, stopping to smell the roses that I have in my yard. I have lavender in the front yard, and I love to sit on the front porch and watch the bees come and
Yeah.
pollinate it. And yeah, so things like that are great. And I love spending time with my daughter and my friends and my family and just having that full heart feeling and laughing or just simple. Like I was at a mural unveiling in a town near ours yesterday, and it was attached to the library, and it was the only thing I had on my schedule for the day. So I went, and it was gorgeous. First of all, it didn't rain, second of all, and it was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to, so it was
Mm-hmm.
lovely. And then I just walked around to the little bookstore, went and had some tea, and I thought, oh my gosh, the joy of not having back to back requirements and just being able to be present to all of the things that I felt like were beautiful in that moment. And the time was spacious.
Mm. And just to pause and to recognize that.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
that's
And
beautiful.
I think honestly, that's probably one of the biggest challenges for us as humans is to pause and be present for whatever it is, whether it's joy or love or especially when it's intense and it's painful, because if we don't take the moment to be present in it, it will come back up again.
Yeah, yeah. So, can you share a moment where joy felt so far away and you just were not in a good place? And how did you push yourself through that and come out of the other side joyful?
Well, as I said before, we are all humans living this human experience, and so those experience have I've had a number of those in my life, and they inadvertently or advertently, I don't know how to describe it, have led to my growth, my expansion, and to the next level for me, whatever that is. You know, when I was before I went out on my own this last time to start my business just over 3 years ago, I had been running a school system during COVID.
Mm.
And I thought, I am not going to survive this, 24/7 with the changes of direction from, the state, from the CDC, there, just when you could understand what it meant and you were starting to communicate and implement, it got changed. People were scared, staff were scared, families were scared. There was so much unknown and the pressure was constant. I just thought, I don't know how we're going to get through this.
Mhm.
My family, we as a collective, me as the school system leader, and ultimately we did, obviously. And I just really felt like it was a reminder to show me how strong I am and the things that we can do when we're called to do them. And then the reminder of what I truly wanted in my heart, which I've always wanted for the last, I don't know, 20, 30 years, was to work with women and companies to bring authenticity and empowerment to them. I have wanted to empower women and girls my entire life, pretty much. And I've done it
Mhm.
in my career, and I have done it independently as well at different periods of my life. So I'm like, this is the time to bring that out. So I kind of took the opportunity to, um, when I could get out of the survival mode, get into the, okay, let's dive deep into this and what is the real message here? What are the messages here? And what can we take forward and bring that out to go to the next level?
Wow. Yeah, those were some really tough days, and we did. We survived.
We did
We survived
indeed.
and came out stronger.
Oh, 100%. It will
Hmm.
never be the same. Systems will never be the same. And there
Hmm.
are a lot of things that changed and not in the best way, in my opinion, during that time. It also, I believe that's also leading to us, um, after we realize that it's not going to go ever be the same, really taking that as the opportunity to make it better. And even though it feels especially difficult right now, I think we all need to lean into what our authentic selves, what our souls, what our purpose is here. What is it telling
Hmm.
us? Like, what do we need to bring out to play right now? Because we need it. We need it for ourselves, and the community needs it. The world needs it because we all have those gifts in us.
Hmm.
There, that's why we're here. I believe that we're all here together for a reason, and that's one of them.
Yeah. I love that, Leah.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
so beautiful.
I
Just
appreciate that.
beautiful. Like you
Thank
said,
you.
somehow, some way, we all come together. It's beautiful.
I agree.
Hmm.
And it's oftentimes what we think is little is not little to others.
That is such a good point that you bring that up, because for me, the gardening was like no big deal. And it was like, no, you should do a video on this. And I'm like, but this is like simple. Like for me, it was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of going with the flow, but we're going to record this and taking something that seems so simple, and it's not always for everybody.
I love it. And the impact that you make is incredible. Like I shared with you, the joy that comes from your videos is beautiful and so needed right now. It's just a nice little place to turn off all of the noise of everything else and see beauty and see joy being
Mhm.
emanated from you and your guests and the gardens.
Yeah.
And you just bring us right along there with you. When you
Oh.
did your fall planting, I think I watched it at like 2 a.m. or something, but I just loved it because it just felt like I was right there with you. And I'm like, oh my
Mm.
gosh, I want to taste those. I wonder how those are going to taste because you have
Yeah.
so many different things and it's going to
Yeah.
be beautiful. Anyway, so I
Yeah.
just think
So fun. So
it's
fun.
cannot be overstated how important these things are to the rest of the
Yeah.
world.
I saw a sign the other day that says, I'm turning off the news and getting in my garden. I'm like,
Yes,
that is me.
yes,
That is me.
yes. I
I need
love
that
it.
right there in the front of my
I
house.
love that too.
So, Leah, you mentioned that you have three things that you're asking all of your guests. So, I want to make sure that we flip the switch and
Okay,
ask you this
okay,
time, okay?
okay.
So, I got them written down. Hold on.
Great, thank
Because I went
you.
back and listened to mine and thought, okay, what did she ask me? I want to catch her
I love
saying it.
it.
Okay.
Yes,
All
yes.
right. Do you feel joy even just a little each and every day? If so, how?
Yes, I aspire to that. I aspire to that. I do reflection when I get in bed at night and I think about, what I'm grateful for. And oftentimes there's so much. And sometimes I really have to like stretch it, like, and that's okay because that's real life. And I don't want people to judge themselves or others because of that, because it is reality. For the joy piece of it, though, I really look at what I found joyful in the day at the end of every day. And I really, and it's not always easy because sometimes I'm going 100 miles an hour in 10 different directions, but my goal is every day to be present to what is possible as it relates to joy. So if I am just cruising along the freeway and all of a sudden I see a wild patch of sunflowers on the side of the road or poppies, I instead of just like keep going, I will look at that. I love that. It's just so striking, the color on the side of the road just popping up out of the asphalt oftentimes, and I get so much joy in things like that. My daughter looks at me sometimes and she's like, oh my gosh, like I say it so many times when we're driving somewhere. And so I really aspire to do that and be that present every single day.
That's beautiful.
Thank
And you know,
you.
you just mentioned you were a fall girl, and now
I
with all these fall
am.
leaves, oh, aren't they
Yes,
just
they
beautiful?
are. And I mean, like you do, I'm sure you have neighborhoods where you drive and you
Mhm.
just like, you look at, it's a slow, hopefully it's not super fast paced street, but you
Yeah.
look at the trees and I go through them like on a regular basis. So this is day one, and then next week it's looking a little bit different. And then the ginkgo trees.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, yes.
yes.
I
I
love that all.
am.
To see them
Oh,
transition is just,
yes.
yeah. But again, it's taking the time to just
Yes.
pause
Yes.
and appreciate that natural
Yes.
beauty. Almond blossoms.
Yes.
So like we're surrounded by almond blossoms,
Yes.
and for us, we just grew up with it. It's just normal. It happens every year. We complain about the allergies, all that. Well, this year, or this past season, I actually paused. I parked at an almond blossom. I went out and just walked through that
Mm,
orchard, just enjoyed a nice, peaceful stroll, and watching the bees and seeing the details of those
yes.
flowers. And I'm like, all my life, this has been here. I just never made the time to pause and appreciate.
And I have to tell you, I did not grow up here. And
Oh.
I moved out here about 26 years ago. And I was commuting to the Bay Area. I had some clients over there a couple times a week. And the first time I came home down 132 in the valley,
Mhm.
and I saw all of the beautiful trees in blossom, because I left in the dark, so I never saw them on the way out.
Uh-huh.
I literally just was overwhelmed with beauty. And then we've had our family pictures taken there
Yeah.
multiple years, and it is something to behold.
Yeah. Not take for granted.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm. And I
Yes.
think all my life I've just taken them for granted.
Oh, that's so
Yeah. So
funny.
different stages of life, you look for different sparks of joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's an easy one to find, which I love.
Mhm. So if Joy were whispering a message to you today, what would she say?
She does whisper to me often. Sometimes it's like, pay attention, and sometimes it is, be grateful because you have so much to be joyful for. And which causes me then to do a mental checklist of the things that I have to be grateful for. And I would encourage people, even when they have a moment and they see something that catches their attention, like right now your tree is right here and it's so gorgeous and it's sparkling, and I just think, oh my gosh, what a beautiful tree, and how much opportunity do we have to just like take a minute and look. And so
Mhm.
that's the message, right? Over and over and over again in different ways, in different avenues. Take that moment, even if you don't know why you're taking a moment, and take a breath and be
Mhm.
present for that, and understand that it's such a privilege to be
Yeah.
here now, and that there's joy to be found every
Yeah.
single day.
Mhm. Well, I'm experiencing joy just sitting here with you and
Same.
enjoying this cup of coffee and
Same.
this nice conversation. This is joy.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
So, if you could leave your listeners with one message about joy, what would it be?
I feel like I'm a broken record when it comes to this, but it's both simple and complicated, right? Especially to my listeners that are parents of young children, single moms, working hard at a job, which is all of us, right? We're building a business and working a job, having a business, running something in the community, being all of those things. Some of those things is to not let it pass you by. It is so easy to get on autopilot. I lived in autopilot robot mode for so long that it becomes second nature. You don't think about it. And I think that is one of the joys that I have had and continue to have over the last few years, stepping away, really being able to focus on healing in a number of ways. And that's still in process. I thought, oh, after 6 months, I'm just going to be 100%. No, it has been 3 years literally. And I still am working on body, mind, and spirit. And it will be a process forever in various ways. And I just want to encourage people not to give up and not to feel like this robotic and automatic way of living is the only way to live. It doesn't have to be, even if it's just taking a moment in small increments and building on that. Because once you feel that, even for a minute, you want more. And we know women are creative, we are strong, we are resilient, we are purposeful. So the more that we see that and feel that, the more that we want that, the more we're going to make that happen.
Okay, so I don't know if you're wanting to go here or not, but you just mentioned something about 3 years ago. So do you want to share with your listeners like what you're relating to?
Yeah, that's when I left my job. Yeah, that's when I left my
Gotcha.
job. It was
Okay.
I had a planned
Okay.
exit strategy to leave in the summer of 2022. And like I said, I took 2 months. My plan was 2 months off. I let go of all of my responsibilities because I do a lot of community work as well, a lot of volunteerism and community work, and I lead things, and I let it all go. I said that, you know, my commitment to myself was as of the 1st of July of that year, it was all going to be, you know, let go of, and I was going to take the time and space to be off, like 2 months of not having to have regular responsibilities, not having to go to a job every day. And I have never done that before in my life. Even maternity leave, I worked.
And Leah, so like you, like we're single women
Yes.
and we're on our own.
Yes.
And so for you to step out and in that direction, I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
Because that is not easy. It's you know, you can have the mindset and want to do it, but it's that responsibility, that responsible, okay, you've got a daughter, you've got a household, it's just you. And so for you to do that, I could applaud you for taking and having the courage to take that step.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was in the moment, so the freedom I felt was so incredible. And that is, for me, why I do what I do, to help myself find freedom and be free, and help women do the same by creating a life that supports that freedom that they so want. And it's been terrifying. It's been joyful, it's been expansive, it's been fabulous, and it has been terrifying. You know, you kind of go through all of the waves at different times, and I wouldn't change it. I have learned so much. And those few months, those 2 months turned into 3. Like I said, I thought, okay, after 6 months, I'm just going to be, there's so much embedded, especially in your body. You don't really think about it, but I have a lot of like body work done because it's there. It doesn't go away. And so you have to find ways to release it in all of the levels, body, mind, and spirit. And it's an ongoing process for me after decades of working. I've worked full time since I was about 17, so it's been a minute. And I've had so many different experiences, and I really feel like that is one of the things that I get to bring to the table when I work with women. Because there is nothing that you can say that will surprise me. There is nothing that you can say that I'm going to judge. I don't judge. We all do what we have to do to survive. We all do what we have to do, and we do what we think is best. And so I create this safe space, and people know it, people feel it, and I love it because it gives people a chance to be seen and be appreciated for who they truly are.
So if you can go back to that Leah 3 years ago, what would you tell her?
I would tell her that, oh, I don't even, that's a great question. And you caught me off guard because I don't even know the answer
What
to
would
that,
you
really.
say to her?
Yeah, I
Like you're
would
looking back
say,
in the mirror and like, okay, Leah.
oh, I would say buckle up. I would say don't give up. And I still say that to myself because there are times when it's just not that easy. And the amount of trust and faith and knowing that that I have and that you have to have is immeasurable. And I don't know if I would tell myself that or not because I might be scared if I heard that. It might freak me out, you know? I think that I would just focus on you're going to be fine. You're going to be great. You're going to make the impact that you've dreamed of always, and one day at a time.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right there. Don't give up. And one day at a time.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And breathe.
Yes, that presence thing, that presence is just so important. And when you're in robot mode, you're not present.
Yeah.
You're in your head. You're just like taking one step, doing one thing at a time. You have the lists that are forever ending, never ending lists. And that's how we move forward. Otherwise, things just don't get done. And it's a lot. But
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, you just touched on something. Like looking back as a younger mom, so many years that went by just in robotic mode.
Yes.
Just, okay, what's next? What do we need to do? And so I can totally relate to that comment right there.
Yes.
I wish I could go back and tell myself, be in the moment.
Yes. And when it comes to my daughter, I was older when she was born. And so I really told myself that, like, be present, be present. And I did whatever I had to do to work in her classroom every week. Sometimes that meant working, from 2 to 6 a.m. in the morning, whatever. It didn't matter because I didn't want to miss it. And didn't want to miss it for me, but I didn't want to miss it more importantly for her.
Yeah. And that's priceless.
It is.
It's priceless.
100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like joy is the same. It's right there. And once you connect to it, there is no going back, and it is priceless.
So now, looking into 2026, what are your plans for joy?
My plans for joy are starting tomorrow, because I am doing a small mastermind group with women, which I sold out in like 2 days because it is very small and intentional in terms of wanting to work with women that have big visions for themselves and get them set up for success in 2026. Every year I pick a word and for the next year. And oftentimes, I think I've shared this with you before. I start my new year. I feel like it's a new year starting in September. So I really kind of get that energy going. And my word came to me so clearly this year and so early that I was surprised. I was like, already? And the word for 2026 for me is activate.
Ooh.
And it's activate myself and to help activate other women.
Activate. I love that.
Yes. And
that
so
is a powerful
it
word.
is a powerful word. And I was a little bit like, wow, that feels very aggressive and it feels very like actiony. And it is, but it comes from deep within. And it's me being activated in support of activating other women. And so I decided that I was going to kick off 2026 in the end of this year so that we can all be ready for an amazing year. So that's
well,
happening
cheers
tomorrow.
to that.
Thank you so much. What a joy. Thank you so much for all of this.
I
appreciate it so much.
I so enjoyed this time.
Me
and I know that your
too.
listeners are going to love to hear from you and kind of get a different perspective on what joy means to you.
Yes. I love the surprise questions because those are the best ones, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for this opportunity and for coming here to my home. I've truly enjoyed everything about this. Everything about this. I wish you so much love and success in your world to come, and the joy that's going to go into years with the Activate.
Thank you so much. You're the first person that I sold that to my word to. So thank you I want to thank you for opening up your beautiful home to me and making me feel so welcome and suggesting this in the first place, as opposed to doing it over Zoom, because then nothing is going to ever feel like this again. It feels like it's just very special. And thank you for being my friend. Thank you for supporting me and agreeing to do this. And to all of our listeners out there, here's to an amazing 2026, and may every day be filled with joy.